focus. Good focus. Okay. Hey guys, today I'm going to be running through my top 5 Persebeth moments. So number 1, Percy saving Annabeth from Siren Bay. I think this moment is so important for Percy and Annabeth's relationship as a whole because it's a moment of vulnerability, it's a moment of fear, and it's one of the early moments for them where you really get to see how much they truly trust each other. It shows that Annabeth knows that when the chips are down, Percy is the one that she can rely on no matter what. And for a solid relationship, no matter what is a very important phrase. You need to be able to stick by each other, and that's something that really shows in this scene. It's very clear how Annabeth feels, and it's also very, very clear that Percy is very protective of Annabeth. Next to Grover, she's the best friend he's ever had, so of course he's going to protect her with his life. Number 2, Percy taking on the quest to save Artemis in order to save Annabeth. So from the moment that those two started dancing at the beginning of the Titan's Curse, we could tell there was a little something more going on between them. They hadn't seen each other in a while, they were going to school, and of course all Percy's thoughts were about Annabeth, how she was wearing little owl earrings, she was a little bit taller than he was. You don't really notice those things unless you're really observing someone and unless they've caught your eye. It's like, oh yeah, you got a little taller, or you put on weight, or you lost weight, but you know, it's just kind of like, oh, I guess you did, but Percy was very observant of these things, and we know our Percy. Not usually the most observant guy. Anyways, from the moment that Annabeth fell off that cliff during the fight with the Minotaur, not the Minotaur, the Manticore, I lose my credibility as a Percy Jackson expert here. Oops. So from the moment that Annabeth fell off that cliff, Percy's emotional state totally switched, and it did for the entire book. Percy was so focused on saving Annabeth. That was his entire goal, even when he met Aphrodite, the goddess of love who appears to your vision of beauty. He saw Annabeth. But the reason that overall Percy taking on this quest is one of my favorite moments is because we see so much growth from him as well. Percy's fatal flaw is loyalty. He's loyal to all of his friends and would die for them. But up to this point, we'd seen loyalty, but we hadn't really seen this amount from Percy. He really proved that yes, it is his fatal flaw, but it also proved how much he cares for Annabeth. And it gave us a little tease to what's to come in the future books. Number 3, Annabeth kissing Percy under Mount St. Helens. So this is a fan favorite for a lot of people. It's our first real Persebeth moment. Our characters have finally kissed, but there's so much more to it. There's a reason it's my favorite. This moment really marks when Annabeth accepts her feelings. She finally lets go of any inhibitions. She just accepts the fact that she's in love with Percy, and she just kisses him. Yes, she does think she's going to lose him, and that is addressed multiple times, but in order to do something like that with the person that you care for, it takes a lot of courage. And we know our Annabeth, she is chock full of courage, but feelings are always something that she tends to hide behind this tough demeanor. She's this tough daughter of Athena. So giving in to her feelings for Percy was a very powerful thing, and I think it really marked a change in her character. And she started to grow a lot more. You actually see her throughout even the Heroes of Olympus books. She's opened up a lot more, and she's more in touch with her feelings. And I think that's super awesome. So thanks for kissing Percy, Annabeth. You helped yourself in more ways than just getting the guy. Number 4, Annabeth taking the knife for Percy. This part right here. Not only did Annabeth take the knife for Percy and completely sacrifice herself for him, which is amazing and beautiful, and Annabeth, I love you so much, Percy put his life on the line as well. He stopped the battle that he was in the middle of. He could have used Annabeth as a distraction if he wanted to, and forged ahead towards Kronos and could have turned the tide in their favor in that moment, but Percy chose not to. Annabeth so clearly means everything to him, and in this moment, That's his only focus, is protect Annabeth. Behind me, Annabeth cried out in pain. Annabeth! I turned in time to see her fall, clutching her arm. A demigod with a bloody knife stood over her. In a flash, I understood what had happened. He'd been trying to stab me. Judging from the position of his blade, he would have taken me, maybe by sheer luck, in the small of my back, my only weak spot. Annabeth had intercepted the knife with her own body. But why? She didn't know about my weak spot. No one did. I locked eyes with the enemy demigod. He wore an eye patch under his war helm. Ethan Nakamura, the son of Nemesis. Somehow he'd survived the explosion on the Princess Andromeda. I slammed him in the face with my sword hilt so hard I dented his helm. Get back! I slashed the air in a wide arc, driving the rest of the demigods away from Annabeth. No one touches her! In my opinion, it's a huge moment for Percy. It's him realizing exactly how he feels for Annabeth without really having all those thoughts, because obviously we don't get that in the narrative. It's Percy kind of realizing and having the body experience of, Annabeth means this much to me. I don't care about the war in this moment. All I care about is her. And finally, number 5. Percy giving up his immortality to be with Annabeth. So first off, this is just really sweet. Percy had the chance to become a god. He could have been immortal and worked with his father and been a part of that world that he's been so curious about. But he gave it all up to have a life with Annabeth. Any gift? Zeus nodded grimly. I know what you will ask, the greatest gift of all. Yes, if you want it, it shall be yours. The gods have not bestowed this gift on a mortal hero in many centuries, but Perseus Jackson, if you wish it, you shall be made a god, immortal, undying. You shall serve as your father's lieutenant for all time. I stared at him, stunned. A god? Zeus rolled his eyes. A dim-witted god, apparently. But yes, with the consensus of the entire council, I can make you immortal. Then I will have to put up with you forever. Ares mused. That means I can smash him to a pulp as often as I want, and he'll just keep coming back for more. I like this idea. I approve as well, Athena said, though she was looking at Annabeth. I glanced back. Annabeth was trying not to meet my eyes. Her face was pale. I flashed back to 2 years ago, when I thought she was going to take the pledge to Artemis and become a hunter. I'd been on the edge of a panic attack, thinking that I'd lose her. Now, she looked pretty much the same way. I thought about the 3 fates, and the way I'd seen my life flash by. I could avoid all of that. No aging, no death, no body in the grave. I could be a teenager forever, in top condition, powerful and immortal, serving my father. I could have power and eternal life. Who could refuse that? Then I looked at Annabeth again. I thought about my friends from camp. Charles Beckendorf, Michael Yu, Selena Beauregard, so many others who were now dead. I thought about Ethan Nakamura and Luke, and I knew what to do. No, I said. Although he did consider the offer, who wouldn't? Percy remembered his own feeling of panic when he thought Annabeth was going to join the Hunters and he was going to lose her for good. He was going to lose that opportunity to experience a life with her and experience what it was like to love her and just be with her. The very thought of being without Annabeth caused him pain. He was scared to lose her. He didn't want to lead a life of lonely immortality if it meant he couldn't lead a life with her.
A life without Meg, even an immortal life, would be empty.
It goes back to what I said earlier of the thought of being without Annabeth scared him, which really shows how he truly feels, and it shows where his true loyalties lie. This moment, in my opinion, really solidified the Percabeth relationship that we have now. So there you have it, guys. Those are my top 5 Percabeth moments. If you enjoyed this, leave a comment down below saying what your top 5 moments are. Now, I know you guys are gonna say, Where's the underwater kiss, Hayden? What about this moment? What about that moment? Well, keep in mind, these are my personal top 5 moments, which I think had the most impact on the Percy-Beth relationship. But if you guys think that there are some more that should have been touched on, leave them down below. And maybe, if this video hits a certain amount of likes, maybe 100 likes? Can we make it to 100 likes? So if this video reaches 100 likes, I will do another top 5, maybe for Percy-Beth, maybe for another ship, we'll see. It all depends on you guys and what's commented down below. So my question for you guys today is, outside of Percy-Beth, what is your favorite Percy Jackson ship? Actually, no, let's expand that. What is your favorite Rick Riordan ship? Currently, mine is Magnus and Alex Fierro. Whew, I love them.
I just want to say a huge thank you to my patrons who made this video possible. If you want to check out my Patreon and maybe think about donating, check out the link in the description below. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.